hand skin on the Dazzle.
Yeah, and yeah, that's right. And so they are kind of planning on swapping out to pick on heroes, and it looks like this will be one of those heroes. I'm just gonna, yeah. So that all looks good then. So, while taking a look then for Digital Chaos coming out first, it is going to be Yawar, going to be on the gyrocopter. Now, his items suggest he's going to some sort of a dual off lane. What he's going on there, unless he's Yawar dodging.
As we told you guys, that it was going to be a.
Oh my God, Swindles!
Great.
Please. All right, so we're starting off already. And then Owie will be on the Spirit Breaker, TC going to be on the Queen of Pain, 1437 going to be on the Undying, and Bulba going to be at bottom lane there with the Tusk.
Well, really cool. I am very curious to see how this game ends up going. It looks like there's a lot of very interesting going on here. They do end up not spotting out this ward as of yet, though. Ward going to be giving them a good amount of vision. He does have Sentry Ward. Thing. You know, I'm going to mention this real quickly, that we talked about all of these teams switching players around, switching around roles. I don't know if this is what we're going to end up seeing consistently out of all of these groups and teams, but it is something to keep your eye on, because when there's these groups and new members coming on into a team, things could be in flux for a little bit. It does look like they're just going to trade on off wards, runes right at the very start of this one. We're going to get underway. What are you hoping to see out of this one? Is there anything that you're really curious about in terms of these teams, whether it's a matchup, whether it's communication, item builds? What's sparking your fancy here?
I typically will look towards kind of how the Shadow Fiend is going to itemize, because that'll determine a lot of how the early game's going to go. It's kind of one of those deciding factors, and when he has the Darkseer, then this has kind of an impact, right? You don't want to end up accidentally going double neck, which was totally intentional, as OG pointed out, and they always wanted a Crimson Guarded Pipe, so they're sticking to their story at least. But ideally, you know, you kind of want to figure out, like, are we going to go S and Y on our Shadow Fiend instead, and he's going to start running at people? And is he going to go for like a Shadow Blade or something clowny like a Yule's? And is Swindle still going to get the mech? Will he go for an early blink? A lot of the strategy will come out in those items.
Well, time will tell what ends up happening. I'm very curious and interested indeed to see where they all end up going, how this ends out. In terms of lanes, I think that probably this bot lane here, careful on the top, sort of aggressively snowballing at any point, and Bundles likewise with Owie here just sort of zoning on out this Darkseer. It could be a bit of a tough lane. It seems like there's kill potential sort of all over the map at this point with the Orb of Venom up on Bounty Hunter. You've got the possibility here to lay on out a good amount of damage. Chessie on the PL. It's all very scary lanes. I think the only one that really is not going to probably find a kill, I would imagine, unless there's some misses, is here in mid. I don't know. I guess the Queen of Pain's always scary too, but Dazzle's moving on in. Should be fine.
Yeah, a lot of it just has to do with this early start, like getting the CS up on them, getting towards even a couple of those uphill hits going one way or the other can be a pretty big determining factor in a matchup like this. And if TC chooses the right moment to blink forward, go for the scream, and stacking on that damage, certainly he can take this. But it looks like Hanskin's going to be playing this one pretty close. There's a little bit of a wrap 1437. They are going to go in here on top of Limp. Looks like he'll be the target. Shadow Strike bringing him down pretty low. And the wave won't be enough to save him. So first blood there, heading over to the stand-in. Unofficial.
That's the way you want to start your tenure if you're going to be there long term. Make it happen, boys. So well done there.
Speculation about.
It does look like Bulba here is going to get well, and going to try and find their way. I think that probably now that we've ended up seeing the Dazzle rotate lane, it's going to be a lot more difficult to find a kill on the Tusk, even though the Dazzle damage isn't that high, although mid lane. Still, that sort of being able to pull it up with the heal bomb is always something you have to be very careful of. Currently, Darkseer level 3 versus the level 2 of the Spirit Breaker, as well as the 3 levels on the Gyrocopter. So a little bit of an even spread so far. We take a look at experience across the lane. Not a little bit ahead, mainly by virtue of that kill there. But still things very even. You know, one kill isn't going to matter a whole heck of a lot here. It's a lot more going to be the last hitting and how that ends up working.
Yeah, again, 1437, just back in that mid lane. It's like, this is just like the series from before, where again, you have this bounty hunter who ends up being in the off lane, kind of playing the supporting role. and then it's going to be your Dazzle sitting mid. You don't have that classic Dazzle PL lane where you'll be able to use the Shadow Wave on top of the Doppelganger. Here they're coming on the mid lane, so finally, getting back there, Ow, he'll come in, he gets that nice little bash. Shadow Grave, go for the TP, but yo, 17% PRD. Oh, Owie will pay for it. I don't think... Actually, Hanskin did get the experience from that, so that's pretty nice, sticking around for that. That was still decent. A win, yeah.
Certainly. I mean, you end up losing your Shadow Fiend there. Definitely come out ahead in terms of speed, but and I guess what we're seeing here is a lot more rotations. Or Spirit Breaker pick allows you to do that, and we aren't really seeing Yawar get punished in the safe or in the off lane on this gyrocopter. Tusk have to go all the way back to base. That was kind of going to happen regardless. And he hasn't been completely and totally shut down at this point. So I still think that the laning ways, like Darkseer against the gyrocopter, this seems like an okay matchup for me. And normally where you would want to punish early rotations, you're not able to do that as much. Strong laning these heroes are. It does look like Z-Freak is going to be for a courier snipe. And actually might get it. This is going to be boots coming out, so not the biggest deal in the world. Bulba's moving on into the side here. I don't know if he actually finds this one. It does look like there might be a little bit of an engagement as well, but I'm going to be able to find the courier and snipe it on out there. 1-2 shots,
nice.
That's a quick kill.
And top lane there, top swindles, and he will go down thanks to the charge there, so courier goes down and the Darkseer will pay for it. And it looks like we've seen this a lot, right? So teams like OG and Secret do this all the time where they sack a little bit the carry, like he had some of the off lane, again, just another charge. Look at what mid. Boba comes in on top of Limp, he's getting pressured so hard in this lane. He will drop. But, like, what kind of a... Yeah, no, I don't think Z-Freak's gonna find anything here. Nice and low, though. But, like, what kind of rotations can we expect? So Bulba, he's only level 3. Like, he hasn't gotten the full advantage of being in that, you know, solo safe lane, whereas you have, like, a Clockwork or Swindles, for example. He's 5, cracking near the halfway point, got pretty decent CS as far as that goes, up to 20 just behind the gyrocopter. Whereas Bulba ended up with 2. So definitely not getting the same out of the way this, you know, this whole scenario is going to leading.
And you take a look at the net worth right now, PL up on the top of it, but not very far behind him is the rest of Radiant. I don't know. It seems to me like they're building them decent position right now. Queen of Pain is going to be able to get off to a great start here already level 6. You compare that, I mean, honestly, if she wanted to and is at full mana, she could probably full to 0 the bounty and just get a quick kill there. I guess the flip side of this also is Z-Freak by
Bulba's trying to bait this.
Do we also have the Undying coming in? We do. It doesn't look like he's going to be sticking around. Oh, Chessie's going to be here a little bit. Doppelganger, can it come out in time? No, doesn't end up getting stunned on up now. They do have a lot of damage on top of Bulba. He needs to get out of here. Chessie does end up knocking out the Doppelganger. We also have Hanskin in the area as well, so that's going to be a heal. Just like that, they're staying alive. The Tusk ends up going down in the end, and they thought that it was a gank. Don't call it a comeback. Flexi doing what they need to do.
Yeah, that Shadow Wave damage. Now they're right on top of Owie with the Spirit Lamp. Will charge out, heading towards that Roshanted, but won't be too close to the bash, thankfully. And he will survive.
Start to this game. 400 gold swing. I'm just not sure. Like, I think that if you look at these lineups, do you think that C are sort of in this position where they're going to be able to sort of fight very effectively before Complexity get their early items up? I feel like if you get that mech up on the Darkseer dagger or something, like they're just going to be able to pull over them at some point.
Yeah, Yawar has come down bottom now too, so this bottom lane just was a disaster. Like, you compare it to what Swindle was able to achieve up top, and he's level 7 now, and then his counterpart Bulba is level 4. And he couldn't go anywhere near the wave, so he is sitting at 6 CS now compared to the 35 on Swindle. And that's a massive change. Like, compared between the two teams, everyone else is kind of like chilling around the same level, but there is a massive drop off when it comes to that off-lane role. And luckily, I mean, he is a Tusk. Like, we see this guy played in the 5th position sometimes, so it's not a total disaster, but if Complexity can look to apply a lot of pressure right now, they can certainly take advantage of the better items they're going to have, try and push as a team, and maybe, unfortunately, they only have Chessie who's getting dove into the tower, and not like a more fighting carry early. I don't know. I guess he can fight pretty well using the Shadow Wave.
Bulba might get on here a little bit. We do have the bounty. Level 4 currently. Chance that they could die behind this, but looking like they don't want to take that. We do have several heroes for deep over towards the mid. The bounty if he wants to be able to pick that one up, but Across the board, just looking somewhat passive now. I'm a bit used to the early fighting that we saw in the last series, and the smoke, maybe they find a kill over here on Handskin. It's not going to be that Shadow Fiend. I'm saying that he is walking on into the ruins, so might be able to find him in a second or two.
Yeah, they're going to assume he's up doing the stacks. Try and come find him up there. I'm sure they have maybe some wards. Oh, they didn't bring any. It's a little unfortunate. Generally, around this time period is when you want to be putting down the wards and try and get an idea, especially up against the Shadow Fiend, of what stacks are being done. Like, they see the camps done and cleared out, so they know he was around, but he makes it to the safety of the tower. And now they really won't get much out of this. Like, Chessie comes up top. Everyone knows exactly where they are.
That was a lot committed. I think Limp there, just Spidey sense is really not seeing anybody on the map. You sort of realize, all right, there's probably somebody around me. Maybe it was him, maybe it was one of the other teammates that ended up calling. In any case, they aren't going to be able to find him, although we do still have Owie hanging out over here to side, and he's by the camp. I don't think he can solo him, though. He's only level 3 versus level 7. Just waiting for somebody else to show him, maybe charge in behind enemy lines. Might
Probably
be the play
wouldn't go
here.
too well, I don't think.
Limp is definitely starting to catch back up now. Despite the fact that he didn't do the best in lane, dying a couple of times, the 0 and so that's pretty significant. The fact that he's been able to get 3rd in net or 4th net worth, despite the fact that he died 3 times in lane, that's really good.
Yeah, and Yawar, he's 3rd on the list. Not feeling too bad. He's got Zeke kind of chilling in behind him, and the Iron Shell presence from Swindles. Is Hanskin? He's actually gonna be able to leech 6 in mid. But I'm wondering what Yawar looks to go for. Like, does he go for this S and Y kind of a build? Does he feel like he'll be under enough pressure? Does he think he can get a helm and try and get some stacks off? Or I'm not sure with how the other team's itemizing. Like, Complexity's only ahead. It's not even 1,000 gold. And actually, he's gonna run right into Swindles with a full item shell. He's just dead.
Oh wow. That is not the way you want to have that happen. A little bit unfortunate there. The Gyrocopter wasn't able. Did he buy out at least? I don't think he bought out either. So kind of unfortunate there. Aquila was up, but to be able to be enough to keep him alive there. And walking uphill into not having vision, I maybe thought that the enemy team was. TC mid lane does have on up the DD rune as well as Sonic Wave. Tombstone has been point. Hanskin is going to get jumped on as well as Limp. They drop on down the Snowball. Walrus Punch committed as well as the Shards. That was a grave used on Hanskin. Sonic Wave going to be able to kill on off that Shadow Fiend. Nicely done there, and TC is going to back on up as they take on down the tower. It does look like Swindles is in the area. Well, they're going to run on into him. Don't have a Sonic Wave at this point, but if they wanted, they can throw out a few more spells. They do get off a Scream of Pain, backing back into 3 of them, but no wall committed. That was already down in the bottom lane. A double kill for TC. Exactly how they want to have that.
Yeah, now he's in there deep and manages to clean up the Hanskin, but he'll go down for it. And that does also give a little bit of track gold back over, as they threw that off in the Bounty Hunter, so a little bit of a bonus there. But no, a very good fight for DC. So they were struggling a bit, looked like they were behind, but took an excellent fight in mid. Nothing really left there in the tank for Swindles, as he did use it for the gank on Yawar. And it got a nice vacuum, but nothing to follow up. And that's probably going to throw them, right into the lead. About 500 gold in terms of the net worth. Good. That'll help get some items going. The boots of travel are actually done for Chessie. Anyway, continue.
When I was struggling to sort of speak out of my face, what I was trying to say there was that, like, DC sort of had this advantage for at least a couple of minutes before they got their big items. Swindles, still about 400 gold mechanism. Look, Shadow Fiend hasn't really picked anything up at this point, but the combination of Tusk being up there as well as having Spirit Breaker can charge. This is a very aggressive lineup that can fight without a whole lot of items. But once you start to get a couple of these other items up, I'm a little bit concerned about DC's ability to sort of survive. Oh god, did they get the vacuum? Oh, Owie ends up getting that canceled off. He's going to end up going down here, I do believe. Yeah, with Limp in the area as well, he's definitely going down. So nice catch there. But if they're able to take advantage of this, maybe take a couple of team fights before those next items come up, maybe DC are able to continue to build on this slight lead they've built. Of course, with Spirit Breaker down, it's not necessarily the best way for that to start out.
Yeah, PL is, like, he's picked up the Boots of Travel, so he's going to be looking to probably get his Limb's gate. Oh, Limb's going to get the wind up. It still doesn't show, right? Yeah.
Oh, this is the last raise, not going to be able to get it. Now they're jumping in on top of Limp. He's going to go down. Chessie looks to fall, and also they're turning this one back around here, but they do end up going down in the end so close. Bulba just barely surviving, as well as TC. That's about as best you could have. Requiem starting on top of your Queen of Pain. And really good reaction timing there by TC to get out of that one. They also have the Bounty Hunter in the area, able to burst on down Boba real quickly. Now they find out that Z-Freak, he's going to fall as well. Wanted to take out TC, but not going to be able to do it. Anskin dropping low.
Oh, the body blocks.
They've got him as well. Body blocks for days. Owie 2000, so solid. And at the end of the day, they get a tier 2 tower as well as 4 quick kills. And that's what I was talking about. You don't have those early items up. Mechanism just now Darkseer, and it was I mean, it's tough because it was a good initiation, but at the same time, there wasn't a ton of follow-up. So it's kind of back and forth as to whether or not that should have been a good.
Yeah, I guess you just really can't underestimate how powerful Undying is going to be in these really early engagements. Like, you think about going into later phases of the game, how annoying Tombstone is. Well, it's already level 4 at 12 minutes, so you're getting a ton of that utility right now. And they didn't have the full lineup of complexity there. I mean, Swindles wasn't there for the fight. He was trying to finish up the mech, so there's no vacuum wall play. Limp, unfortunately, like, he goes for the huge play on the Requiem, and that would have made the fight just so good for them, right? Because now there's no Queen of Pain, and we just, you know, wipe the floor with the rest of you, but couldn't quite get it off, and the reinitiation was just a little bit too much for them. Right now, what I look towards is the Phantom Lancer. He's got the boots of travel, he's got the drums, he's playing Emperor Spirit right now. But it's a little bit interesting, right? Because you want to be involved in the fights, but you're also like a little bit squishy. It definitely has a high like error probability. Like if you mess up, it's a pretty big risk.
Tower is under attack.
Yeah, it does look like they're going to be able to maybe wrap around this gyrocopter here. With D-Freak in the area, is going to be able to get off a couple of slows here. There's a lot of burst damage coming out very quickly. The call down does get committed. You are alive at least for Blink forward, they end up finding Z-Freak. There's this Dust end up getting popped as well. He is gonna go down, I do believe. Hanskin gets the grave off, but the Requiem of Souls comes out. Tombstone still committed for this one, it ends up falling. This could be a really bad fight for TP if they're not gonna be able to get enough burst out. There's gonna be a quick kill. Chessie dropping low, as is your arc. Keeping him alive a little bit longer. The Flawless Punch, the charge in. Ends up falling. The Death Requiem is going to finish off the Tusk now. Z-Freak bursting on through 1437 and he's alive! Oh, TC, huge plays right there. And another nice there committed by DC.
Yeah, I don't know. There's just so much catch, I guess, with the blinking on TC, as well as the charge from Owie. And you had this mass rotation to stop this humongous dive into the middle of the tier 2. And they kind of stuck around with the tier 1, like, oh, we can fight this, it'll be fine. But even the mech wasn't enough to heal them. Hans can get picked off a little bit too early in the engagement, so we didn't have those continuous shadow waves coming out. And just really well played so far by DC. Like, they're responding very well. Those TPs were almost instantaneous.
No, totally. They were right on top of it, and it seems like they're communicating really effectively
Radiant's
here.
middle tower is under
I think was one of the things somewhat criticizing the team of before, and I don't know what that is exactly. More experience playing together totally, but it seems to be working so far. So they have a lead of about 1,000 gold. Experience is about the same. Again, because they do have that bounty hunter up though, they need to be careful in this. Like, you can't necessarily push it super late game, particularly with the Shadow Fiend and the Phantom Lamp there. They don't really have super explosive cores beyond the gyrocopter. I mean, Pain versus the Shadow Fiend late game, it's kind of prioritize and feel like Shadow Fiend's going to be in a better position depending upon the itemization. And I don't know, I think that they need to keep up the pressure basically, and would love to see that from them. Man, smoke onto the Radiant Jungle, Z-Frittles area, and might be able to find out the Undying here, but I don't know if that's the person they want to jump on. With no tier 1 tower though, they can do a lot of damage. War ends up getting a little bit of a lick from Iron Shell. Like, here, Bounty Hunter might be in a little bit of trouble. We have the gem on the Undying, remember, so... Oh wait, no, that ended up getting taken off of him. Gem go.
I don't even know...
Oh, Queen of Pain
was there
has it.
gem? Oh, there we go. Okay, yeah. It's like doubting myself for a second there, but he does have the dust, so if they do spot out a little bit of Iron Shell damage, or, you know, Z-Freak manages to screw up something here, it looks like they're going to try something possibly.
Well, TP on in, they're all going to be here. Call down is going to get committed on the 4. Oh god, the vacuum wall is going to be pretty big though. Swindles gets bursted before he's able to do it, but there's going to be the shallow grave coming in, and everybody from DC is starting to fall. It doesn't look good. 1437 goes down. Bola as well after one last from Limp. Just like that, because they weren't able to be there in time with the TP rotations, tier 1 tower already fallen. Lexi take a little bit of a lead there in a 5-on-3. huge fight for them.
Yeah, the boots of travel completely paying off there. Able to get right into that fight and just good positioning by Complexity. Like a little bit maybe unfortunate that Owie's so far away in terms of like they didn't. I don't think they had vision of him. I don't think he was active in the lane, but TC was active
Radiant's
top.
bottom
And,
tower
you know they
is
know he
under
can't
attack.
respond that quickly because it was relatively far from the tier 2, and it was a really good opportunity that they were able to
Dire's
jump on.
middle tower
That's going to bring
is
this
under
back
attack.
a lot. In fact, it's now actually there's just that
Track
one
kills.
fight back in their favor. Yeah, track so good, experience and gold. In fact, it's more in their favor
Wow.
than it ever has been for DC.
That is a huge swing right there.
Radiant's
I guess it's
bottom
just because
tower is
everybody
under
was
attack.
around in that area. It does look like we're going to have a KB picked up, Shadow Fiend as well. And now I almost feel like DC need to wait a little while before they end up trying to their next fight. Maybe the next set of items does look like Undyne's picking on up the Arcane Boots. Mechanism is finished on Tusk, so they can probably fight here. What else? Gyrocopter, Helm of the Dominator, Queen of Pain, the Orchid. Really help, but I think probably... Who would you prioritize in this? In Dazzle or maybe the Darkseer?
I think if he spots out Swindles, he's going to prioritize getting the Orchid on him just so that they can kind of fight for some duration without having to worry about the back wall, simply because there's no surprise right now. Like, the Blink Dagger's not done. You don't have to, like, Orchid him and then he disappears in the fog and suddenly he back walls again. You'll be able to keep tabs
Dire's
on him.
structures are fortified.
Ideally, though, I think it's the Dazzle is the big play, unless you think you can, like, completely burst down the Darkseer. It's a
Dire's
lot more
bottom
reliable to go for
tower has
Hanskin.
fallen.
Okay.
Try and bring him down.
Dire's
Especially if you can do it right
bottom
before a
tower
tower
is under
siege,
attack.
that would be massive. It could even secure Roshan at this point.
Radiant's top tower
But I mean,
is
despite the
under
fact they
attack.
just lost that team fight, it doesn't feel like any team has a significant hold on this
Radiant's
game
top
where
tower
it's going
is
to go
fallen.
one way or the other without some very... Well, that item actually can totally turn this around. The Fusel Blade
Dire's
just picked up
bottom
now
tower
on
is
the
under
PL, and
attack.
almost as if they... sadness in their hearts. They're just going to back on out from the Fusel Blade up. Terrifying. They didn't see it. Items that filled...
Yeah, it's very akin to like the Bat Rider Blink Dagger. In fact, most heroes Blink Dagger, something like that. Especially when you have a Boots of Travel. Like, I wouldn't even want to show myself right now if I'm Chessie. I want my team to find a fight. In fact, they might even smoke up here. They are under a ward though, so they should watch out for that. But it looks like they're bringing the courier for a smoke, and they see the positioning. It's like that is what you do when you're going to smoke, because they want Chessie to come in for a fight right now with that Diffusal Blade and just completely destroy DC.
So they should realize it now. Several come in, and actually, if they're able to find this fight, though, DC are the ones that spawn up, and they're going to be trying to see if they can find a pickoff here on maybe the Bounty Hunter. They spawn up, waiting for their opportunity. They're going to actually wrap around the other way. All right, 5-man smoke into 5-man smoke. Let's see what ends up happening here. A little bit scary. Everybody backing rolled into it. Noble Keep people have a little bit longer. Sonic Wave strangely only caught onto Limp, it looked like. There's the pull down on top of everybody. Nobody dead yet in this engagement. What is happening? Bounty Hunter takes out the Undyne. He does look like he's going to be trying to chase out his Queen of Pain. Not able to find that kill. Gyrocopter could have had the Shadow Fiend at the start as well. It's looking like DC might be the ones that come out on top. No, never mind. Gyrocopter does all. Chessie's still doing a lot of damage with this play. Bulba up to the other side. He gets taken out by Chessie now.
Oh
as
no,
well.
the mana!
And DC is going to go down. Can he stay alive any longer? It does look like Owie's trying to find the kill. Isn't going to be able to get it though. And just like that, a quick triple kill. Chessie on a roll. They do have the gem down on the ground as well. Now up on Handskin, and everything looking good for Complexity after that fight.
Oh, that started off so poorly. The vacuum, and then Swindles got stunned up, couldn't get down the wall in time, but it worked out in the end. Chessie, man, that Fusel Blade is just so strong right now. It looks like 1437 is feeling the pain of that as well. He even tries to wand up, but that won't do any good.
Radiant structures are
Oh,
fortified.
that was a very, very quick turnaround right there. Dazzle's going to be going for the Glimmer Cape with this. He can do pretty much whatever he wants. He had so much money after that fight, as does the PL. Just picked on up that
Radiant's
Diffusal
middle
Blade.
tower has
Now sitting
fallen.
at 2,400 gold on hand. Like, he has 1,100 net worth. This is the point where he starts to get really, really unassailable, and you need something. I don't know, do you think that this is a game where the Queen of Pain gets to end up going for Aghanim Scepter, or is it a little bit too late for that to be super...
Well, with how over the moon Chessie is right now, because he just bought Diffusal and he has 3k gold, I think they actually do need the Aghanim simply to both burst him down, but also to completely eliminate the illusions, because they need to get like the Orc on top of him. I guess it doesn't matter anymore because Diffusal Blade, but they need to get some lockdown on top of him, like even if it's just a charge into a Nether Strike. He is definitely the key target right now, and prioritizing that as the main point. Secret gets just caught out while they're farming the jungle. You know, it's a bounty hunter. He dies. It's a thing.
Kind of lucky too. The Sentry Ward was about to despawn in 5 seconds. Ended up catching Boots walking on through the jungle. And it's a nice kill. 1,000 gold going back their direction, isn't it? So it looks like instead Queen of Pain might be going for the Shiva's Guard this time around. I actually like this one a lot too, being able to slow down that attack speed of all the illusions as well as the real PL himself is going to make illusions a lot less DPS, as well as giving the nice armor there on top of Queen of Pain. The thing I worry about again is sort of maybe B might have been a bit of an option there. It looks like we're probably going to have to see TC rely a lot more upon his sort of general conditioning to not get caught out by the PL, because if PL ever gets on top of him, Jesse's just going to tear.
I don't think they're going to get into the pit. Alright, they smoke now. And this was smoked in here by the dire side, so they aren't aware of that. They didn't even know, I don't think.
Okay, this is awkward. Someone gets dropped down. There's the solo board. The Olympus dropping pretty low, but does anything off the defense. Oh, Shallow Grave keeping him alive. Shadow Fiend. Oh, they're actually turning this back around here. Looking a little bit scary. Limp ends up taking out the Queen of Pain. Thought it was going to be better than this. It looked good a couple of minutes with the Bounty Hunter being down, as well as the Dazzle, but just like that, another 3 heroes dead for DC. I'm not sure exactly what it is. Is it just... How do you think this game has been turned around this quickly by Complexity?
Well, Chessie just destroyed that tomb, first of all. Like, he is one of the better counters because the illusions just annihilating the tombstone. They started
Radiant's bottom tower
like
is
getting
under
these pushes
attack.
and they were kind of making an impact, but I really haven't felt much from the gyrocopter. Like the call downs and everything. I mean, he's your most farmed hero, but it doesn't seem to be doing all that much in the fight simply because of the grave. Like, every time Limp just
Radiant
gets saved,
structures
Limp
are
hides for a
fortified.
second, and he's healed back up to full.
Radiant's bottom tower
Yeah, it's definitely
is under
something to
attack.
consider there. And also the other thing that I was just thinking about was that one team fight. When you have the Bounty
Radiant's
Hunter
bottom
on your
tower
side,
is
one big team fight can really turn around the... Oh my god, how he dropped it so low. He ends up going down. Oh, that's unfortunate. And that team fight that ended up happening here where the tier 1 is for Radiant on the safe lane, considering they weren't able to like sort of continue their advantage, able to sort of build off of it a little bit further, we just saw those big items get picked up by Complexity. The sustainability, the clutch graves. I do have to say that I think this Dazzle, Handskin's been playing this absolutely superbly, saving that Shadow Fiend every single time right when he's about to go down, and you can't really ask for a whole lot more out of a Dazzle than that.
Yeah, like what they do against this, they don't have Sonic Wave for 30 seconds. I don't even think they can stop this. I think this Rax is just completely forfeit.
Well, War is here. There's one of these going to call that BKB. It's popped. Those Sonic, or excuse me, able to break that off. Not going to really get the Requiem as of yet. There's going to be the big vacuum wall, though. Not quite enough damage. Nobody's still dead for TC. Bulba is dropping so low, though. Look at Jesse just tear him apart. TC's dropped pretty low as well, and it looks like they're just going to turn around, start banging on these melee racks, excuse me, range racks, which should be falling in a second or two. The biggest problem they've got right now is that they're going to have to go back for tier 2s before they go any further, and
definitely the least of your worries at 26 minutes. It's just like, oh, we have to get those other towers.
Oh,
shoot.
Just gets out of that one. They are going to be actually TP'd back to the other play. A little bit of mind games there. Owie a little bit too far forward. That was a really good play by Chessie. And now it looks like they're going to be able to take on that Spear Breaker. Oh, nice play there by TC before he ends up getting taken out. Nice vacuum wall and back, but it's not going to be enough really follow-up damage here. And Chessie thinking about popping his Aegis at this point. Sanjin Yasha now up on the Shadow Fiend as well. That is brought to him by virtue of the Courier. And looking like they're going to keep on going for this one. Happy to do it.
Man, this just turned into like a dumpstering. Like, look at the graph. Jesse's just sitting here still in Aegis, throwing Lamp. Okay, it's got that graph. I guess all that will come down. It's gonna burst that Aegis. And Limp stuck inside the ice dredge, but he's trying to survive there. Snowball gonna come in. He is once again grenaded up, double looking for it. Just get these raises off. No Rex available this time. Oh, the big back there from Swindle. So now DC's blinking away, but Jesse wants it.
It's just so much damage really quickly. Look at all the zombies too now. I mean, that's the one nice side here, but if every single time the zombies end up spawning up, they can just turn onto it with the PL illusion. Everybody from DC track, everybody from DC starting to get their mana taken. And it looks like finally, at least for a couple of seconds here, Complexity is going to back on up. 600 gold swing at the end of that little engagement, but the big thing to keep in mind right now, let's take a look at these graphs. 20,000 net worth. This is a huge turnaround. You need to look at what they were at earlier. 20 minutes. It was about 3,000 gold lead. Now we're sitting at 8 minutes later. That's about 20k. Just huge turnaround there, mainly by virtue, I would say, of good team fights and able to combo that up with the bounty hunter. It's worth noting they're actually double the net worth over the experience in terms of their lead.
Yeah, and look at the kills. They only have 3 more kills. In fact, the last, I believe it's 10 kills in a row have been for complexity, with none for DC.
That's a pretty nice
flip the switch and we're like, hey, you guys want to go win? Like, yeah, all right. Like, let's go. Chessie, buy some items, would you? I mean, it's so rare that you see this insane of a turnaround, and there's no better hero on your team like to provide this, obviously, than the bounty hunter. And at least now there will be that blink dagger here from Bulba, and that will provide you with all the big saves. But when you're already a racks down, and it's basically just going to be like, if you can save everyone from the 5-man vacuum, like in the wall, and just get them the hell out of there, that might make it worth it. But I don't think he's going to be getting any solo picks this game.
I will say, bigger throws have happened before. This game's certainly not over. And one of the main ways that they've been able to stand these is, I think, the really solid play by this Dazzle. He has just been every single grave that he's needed. Obviously, of course, the farming's been solid, the team fight that they've taken, being able to back out when it's the proper moment, all of these things have been really, really great in combination. But it seemed to me like he's been one of the key components being able to sustain in the fights and also get off those key spells before they finally do get taken out. And if he's, for whatever reason, picked off at the start of the fight, he could be in a bit of a problem. He does have the Glimmer Cape and the Force Staff also, so it'll be hard to pick him off, but there's a possibility there.
Yeah, now it's time to batter down this tower. I don't know, like, do they have the heroes for the comeback? I suppose they do. You get the Queen of Pain, you know, you get the Sonic Wave, you get the Call Down, there's a little bit of Wombo combo. Somehow you have to get through all of Chessie's though, and there's the Greaves. It's not going to be easy.
It's certainly not going to be easy. Shadowkin has a DD up right now as well. Should be wearing, well no, it just got popped, so it's going to be here for a little while. And honestly, they can just keep on throwing out these tracks, they can keep on throwing out those Spirit Lances, that way the mana ends up getting drained. It's just a pain in the butt to have to fight against this type of lineup. Apparently Complexity not really wanting to sort of push their advantage too much. They don't want to throw this all away for nothing. Be waiting for the next set of items here. He did just get the Sanj and Yasha up on the PL, so probably looking to be able to end it relatively soon. Like, if you're going for super late game, that's probably not the item you would be taking.
No, they just want to get Aegis, maybe buy like a Vlad's or something on probably Z-Freak. Probably just, they might get Blink at this point, honestly, he has the gold, but just grab like one more item, just like the SNY you're talking about. Like, that's not late game, that's just like, alright, we're ready to end the game. So they'll probably just look for the Aegis, unless they get a really good pick off, and then just go to try and put this one to bed. They will spot out Z-Freak underneath the sentry ward, so he'll go down.
A kill, always good to have that happen.
He didn't buy out.
I don't think it's going to be enough for them to be able to secure Roche. It is a relatively, well, we'll see how long the Roche timer is. But it does look like at least stability there, that if it's a really short one, maybe come and contest this. Do you think there's any possibility for them to contest it? As I'm saying, I'm looking at the 20 net worth lead for the PL.
I think at the the biggest high point they have is the fact that they have a creep in there. So they're going to know when Roshan spawns. And they have the Undying Tomb, they can get up on the high ground. Now the problem is you're going to have to deal with the Weave, right? So you can get the vision of the high ground and everyone can take down the Tombstone.
Yeah, a bit tough. Not then. Barrowcopter is building. Oh yeah, Roche
it's
really
an instant
short.
Spawn.
Oh man, that's pretty decent.
That was like the smallest spawn I've ever seen.
Yawar looks to be building towards a rapier, so maybe that's the comeback. And I will say that Heal didn't end up going for a butterfly, which would have definitely secured them a very strong possibility of winning this one. Now he's just going to charge away, trying to get away over to the creep wave, and should be able to make his way out of here. So the damage is still going to be felt. Wanted to, he could come close to being able to pick on up a crit here, but I think that I don't see any other option really.
Rapier gaming, I suppose, yeah, we haven't talked about that. There really is no other option. Like, it's just Rapier gaming here for Yawar, and just hope.
like they don't have the great defensive support like the Dazzle, make sure that he gets off all of those flat cannon shots. The closest thing they have to it is Dave that comes out by the Tusk. Like the pieces are somewhat there, but it's still a big ask, I think. And it does look like at this point we're going to see Complexity probably move on into the Roche pit. This is going to secure out a little bit more farm here for Uar. If he's able to get this up, I see a chance for a comeback, but it's really all or nothing at the point, and everything has to go perfectly.
Yeah, but right now DC are just not in the position to be able to defend this. They'll be dead. Yeah, there's no way. So that means there's not going to be any sort of a rapier hopes or dreams for the gyro. I mean, it's highly unlikely or rather Aegis to go with his rapier. It's highly unlikely it was going to happen in the first place, but now it's definitely guaranteed. But we're ready now, though. Rapier Gaming is live and prepared. He just clean up this one camp, and he can go pick it up.
Have that team self on back to base. That being said, board here, I feel like they're going to know what's going on. Trying to stay away from Rapier, and I think that they
he's
saw
walking right under the ward too.
Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate. So they realize what's going on with this. Scotty, now the item. Currently sitting at 8 HP. Again, you never know.
Yeah,
It's about a Rapier time.
Yeah, he didn't get pinged, so they might not know. They definitely had the vision of him, but no one was like immediately, you know, Gyro Rapier, abandoned ship. Is he hiding it? This is a pretty classic thing where they'll... No, he's actually gonna hold on to it. Oh, because he didn't pick it up with the courier, right? So he can't...
He can drop it, but it's not activatable the rest of his team.
Yeah, I don't know. They changed it since I started playing, and then I get all confused, so... I just know that once you drop it once and he picks it up, that's my game. It's like a fair game Rapier forever. That's the only one I know. But...
does look like they have complete and total vision here. That observer for DC, and fortunately not engagement goes down. So everybody get in position. Have the Alpha Wolf creep here as well. Worst thing that could happen right now in this engagement is if Uar ends up getting vacuumed outside of base and then gets down very quickly. If that happens, that's pretty much GG, although already, just look at these illusions. Pull out that damage here. Jesse's moving forward. Again, he can just be a tank monster in the middle of everything with the Aegis up there. Uar just doing everything he possibly can. Just be so careful. He gets just even a little bit too far out of position down here. It looks like at the same time you're having the split push game come on out from the Darkseer. Charge committed right there, so it's... Actually, each of them have... Did he steal the Alpha Wolf? Is that what he did right there? Pretty awesome. So now he crits.
Radiant's middle barracks are under
That's a pretty cool play. Alright, Rapier, he's got the crit. He deals 500 damage roughly. Actually, almost 600 damage at this point in time. What do you think they're looking for right now with your Complexity?
Mistake from DC. Just let them, like, just keep chipping away at these range racks, and you can see that you're getting damage on the melees. And just wait. Like, Vayne and Jesse, you have plenty of time left on this Aegis. He can just kind of sit there and wait for them to commit on top of him.
Trying to bait out as much as he can as well. There's the jump forward. TC getting very low. Needs to blink out of there before things start to go awry. The Doppelganger back now. We do have a lot of damage that can come out. Tombstone has now been committed. There's going to be the snowball backwards. DC doing a lot of damage to Limp, but not going to be able to do quite enough. Back wall as well. Still the Uar stands. He's doing as much as he can, but there's the burst. Look at him fall. Queen of Pain ends up taking out the Dazzle, but GG ends up getting cold as DC dropped the first game. Jesse, like on a triple kill there, and doing everything he needs to do. Max, what are you expecting to see here in game 2 in just a couple of minutes?
Well, I don't really know. Maybe a Bounty Hunter ban is the one that sticks out. I just can't believe how much this game got turned around. Everything looked like it was going okay. Probably a range support. Maybe like DC might be feeling like they didn't